What if I told you that the fear, the anxiety, and the trauma you have been carrying for years isn't just a part of who you are? What if it's the very thing that's been preventing you from living freely? J. Krishnamurti, a revolutionary thinker from the last century, saw this with incredible clarity. But what he didn't have was a modern understanding of psychology and trauma. In this video, we're going to bridge that gap, taking his timeless wisdom and giving it a modern lens, showing you not just what the problem is, but a clear path to healing it.
So, why are you hurt? What is you who are hurt? What is the you? The image you have about yourself, no?
Here, by image, what he means is all the identities that you build about yourself.
I'm a Christian, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a Hindu, I'm proud, I'm bad. For you, all that's you.
All your memories is you.
Or you think you as God or superior spiritual something inside you which is above all this.
All your spiritual experiences are also memories.
So that's it. The process of thought is hurt.
Any thinking that happens is from the past.
And how do you prevent future hurt? Not by resistance, not by withdrawal, not by becoming more and more hard. Have you ever, do you want to wipe out your hurts or do you love your hurts?
When there's trauma, people do get addicted to their past, to their hurts, to their memories.
I'm doing that, sir. We are doing it. You want to keep your hurts?
Keeping trauma is also a choice which a person can become free of.
There's great pleasure in keeping them because that gives you vitality, energy to hurt somebody else.
You hurt somebody else because you are yourself hurt. This is a classic projection.
If you want to be free of all hurt, what will you do?
Understand what the past itself is.
So that you are never, under any circumstances, in your relationship with the world or with your friend, never to be hurt. You know what it means?
Freedom.
To have a mind that is incapable of being hurt.
Incapable of being hurt is equivalent to the past not being in the present.
Hurt also, which is the other side, is flattery. Both are the same.
What he means here is it is not just what hurt does to you. It is also the good things that people get flattered with, or when a person says good things about a person, that good acknowledgement, that good praise is also stored and it becomes an identity of the person, which Kay is talking about to be free of.
Do you want to find out? Stop. All right. Piano. Do you really want to go into this? All right, so I'll do it for you. Do it.
When he says do it, he really means for you to look in your own mind, right when he's talking about it.
And say not just live with words and ideas, but do it. Because then you are free from, then you blossom in goodness, you flower in goodness then. What is hurt? I'm going to go into it. Don't go verbally, but actually look at yourself and go into yourself. You're hurt. Your parents hurt you when you're a child.
This is childhood trauma.
Your friends when you're a child or boy hurt you psychologically.
Which becomes your past.
Then in school they hurt you by saying you must be as clever as your brother or your uncle or your headmaster or whatever. You must, and then college, you pass exams. And if you fail, you're hurt. And if you don't get a job, you're hurt. Everything in the world is put together so that it hurts you.
This is really deep. If you look at your own life, each and everything that has hurt you from childhood is coming because the world has become very unconscious. It's because all the people in the world are themselves hurt and they are projecting their hurt onto other people by hurting other people. And this is why the world is very violent now. We get hurt even from our own parents. The words that they talk about. A lot of people even get sexually abused in their own family by their own parents and their siblings. That's the cruel world that we live in. And you go to school, you're tormented each and every day because you're put into a routine which does not serve any purpose of education, of true education. And then you get into a college, and right from the school, you're in a rat race. You're in a competition with everybody else. That makes the mind be in a survival mode all the time. And that happens even when you're going to get a job. When you get a job, also, because the competition never stops from school to college to universities to companies to research and even in relationships where you're in a survival mode of your partner leaving you for somebody else who is better than you.
Our education, which is so rotten, hurts you. So you're hurt. Do you actually realize that you're hurt?
What he means here is people often do not even realize that they are hurt. That's because they have gotten so used to being hurt for years and decades that it has become a norm to them. They're so blind to being hurt also, and they act out of it.
And see the results of being hurt. You are don't want to hurt others. You want, from that arises anger, resistance. You withdraw, become more and more inwardly separate.
Here, when he says inwardly separate, it means that the mind of such a person who is not in sync with what the reality of the mind is, and who is hurt for so many decades, and who does not even realize he's hurt, such a mind will constrain itself to a point where person develops coping mechanisms to not feel hurt from other people. And what does coping mechanisms mean? Coping mechanisms are a way to protect yourself. And this happens to an extreme limit because the environment is like that in family or anywhere else. You're always protecting yourself from being hurt. And when you do this for a long time, for years and decades, you forget that you have even developed a coping mechanism and you live by it.
And the more you are inwardly separate, withdrawing, the more you're hurt. So you build a wall around yourself and pretend that you're very, but always within the wall.
Unhealthy boundaries that we have put around ourselves, where we don't even let any person in, where there's an actual person who is trying to let you know that there's a problem and you have to grow out of it. You do not let any information inside because you do not trust anybody, because you have been hurt so much that you do not even see any other person as being trustworthy, even with the information, the valuable information that they're providing you with for you to grow as a person. What happens here is you build up a wall around yourself. You prison yourself. First, because you want to be safe from other people to protect yourself. But after a long time, when you keep doing this, it becomes your own prison. It's like having a huge wall around you, but where nobody else can come in. But it also means that you can't go out.
These are all the symptoms. So you're hurt. And if you really deeply realize that you're hurt, not only at the conscious level, but deep down, then what will you do?
Understanding the depths of where you're hurt requires awareness of the present moment and the flashbacks that you get in your mind, the scenes that you see in your mind, the thoughts that comes into your mind in that moment of being hurt, in that moment of reaction that you give. It's about being aware of that moment. It's about being aware of what the mind is actually doing in that moment to you. And to understand what you're actually getting hurt psychologically, to go into the depths of it, you really need to first see that everything is coming from childhood traumas. And this is a very psychological thing. And when Krishnamurti says, do not analyze your past, there's a sense of paradox in it, where he actually means to not be attached to your past, but to actually be free from your psychological traumas, from your childhood traumas. You really need to go back and heal from them. That's the inner work.
Now, how does this hurt take place? Because you have an image about yourself. Suppose if I have an image about myself that I'm always sitting on a platform talking to an audience. Thank God I don't. And if the audience disapproves or doesn't come, I'm hurt.
This is about validation, where what you're doing as a person for work or as a role in a family, and if somebody questions that, if somebody says anything against it, where it pinches you, where it triggers you, you get hurt. You get hurt because you identified yourself with that role as a profession, or as a family person, or as a son, a partner, a colleague, a friend, and because you have those images about yourself, and because you identified yourself with that images from those memories. And this is also the past, which is why you get hurt when somebody just talks a single thing about it. That doesn't go well with you.
I have an image about myself. So the fact is, as long as I have an image about myself, that image is going to be hurt, right? That's clear, isn't it?
The image that gets hurt is the past itself, because the past is in the present. You're getting hurt because you have the identities of the past, of who you think you are.
Is it possible to live without a single image?
Theory means to live in the present, completely 100%, without the past being there. When you do not when the past does not have any hold on you, only then can you be completely here in this moment, which is the unending moment, where there is no past, there is no future.
Which means no conclusions, which is a form of image, no prejudice, no, you follow? All these are images.
Images of the past.
Give my total attention to what you are saying. You understand?
Or about the other person, and then you can look at that person without any interpretation. And it is only then can you see that what they're talking about is their own projection.
At the second when you want to hurt me by saying something, I give my attention to it. Then there is no registration taking place.
This is deep observation of that instant where a person is talking. And when you are looking at a person or anything for that matter so deeply, where you're always in the present 100%, where you're looking at something without any interpretation in the mind, where there's nothing going on in your mind about the scenery, about a person, even about your own memories that goes on in your head. When you just look at it as a third person, as if it's a movie going around for you in front of you, then you will learn a skill of being detached from what is actually going on and also have the power to look at something as it is.
Understand that it is only when there is inattention the registration of hurt takes place.
Inattention being the information of the past flowing into the present about that person or the things that they're talking about or the images that you built about yourself or the identities that you have about yourself.
Or flattery. Now, can you give, when somebody says you are a fool, can you, at that moment, can you give your total attention?
In that moment, just look at the person. And when you look at a person without being attached to what the words that you're talking about, you will definitely understand what they're talking about, but you'll not be attached to what they are throwing at you. You'll not be attached and hurt by what they are saying to you. In that moment, just be completely aware of the way the person's facial features are moving for you, the way the person is getting angry, the way the person is blurting out things that they're not supposed to say. Be completely aware of these things when a person is mad at you, or saying something that's very absurd, or abusing you, or saying bad words to you. Just look at that person without a single interpretation of your mind, where your mind is just quiet.
If you do, then there is no hurt. The past hurts have gone in that attention.
Power of observation is what he's talking about. Because in that moment, when you're just observing at a person or a tree or yourself or your own thoughts, in that moment, the power of observation is so strong, it is so deep, it is so potent that the past just cannot exist in that moment of you looking without any interpretation. Because in that instant, there is no psychological time. And when you're looking at something without any psychological time in your mind, the mind has to be quiet. It has to be free of all the images. It has to be free of all your past problems. Just in that moment. And when you keep doing this over and over and over, you will become free of time and the past and all the hurts. And nobody can ever hurt you again.
Tension is like a flame that burns out the past and the present.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Turn Inward